Hold on, how do I even? Hold on, let me look at that lineup though too, cause that lineup low key ass, boy. Tried to do that shit, and then I was trying to fuck with it a little earlier. I think I ended up cutting myself trying to make that shit sharp. I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Look at that, boy. That's what is that? I'm balling, big. But never mind all of that bullshit. What's up, everybody? It is your man James, aka James Sue, aka Nick Chan, aka goddamn Downtown Chan, and I'm back with another video. This time I just wanted to just have a little one-off discussion, nothing just like really on the records and nothing like that. Think of this as a conversation that you having like with your boys, you know what I mean, or with your shorty or whatever, people behind closed doors. That's how I really want to like kind of keep this conversation, because I really don't care to be super analytical and bring up all the metrics and statistics and all that other bullshit. I'm gonna keep it real. As a casual of this game, these are casual opinions for the most part. And when I say casual, I mean like a step up above from casual, because I almost got 2,000 hours in the game. But let's not talk about all that. What I want to talk about today is support inflation. The direction that Marvel Rivals is going in right now is, I don't even know if annoying is the word. It's concerning, because it feels like this game is ignoring the signs, right? It's no secret, Overwatch has been in this business a lot longer than Marvel Rivals has, and they've been exposed to a number of problems, and they found different solutions to them that Marvel Rivals, honestly, they're trying to ignore. I know they want to set themselves apart and distinguish themselves from the competition and shit like that, but there's some things that are too hard to ignore, okay? Let me go ahead and bring my notes up for a second, because I want to formulate some thoughts. So here it is. One of the biggest issues in the game is support inflation, right? Supports are so strong to the point where they dictate the outcome of the match at almost every turn, right? And what's a crazy dynamic is that supports are simultaneously the most casual friendly role in the game, and they're also the strongest role in the game. How the fuck you do that? How do we get to this point where the most, like that shiny object of attraction when you have a casual newcomer and they come to play the game, it's Luna Snow and Jeff and Invisible Woman and even Mantis and Loki and all these other supports and shit like that, and they control the entire flow of the game. You get what I'm saying? Like, so, and I guess this can kind of go back to what was it? The support strike, right? At a time when people didn't want to play supports, or supports are dropping the game because they felt like they were too vulnerable and things like that, and they didn't have the tools they needed to defend themselves. I think that was the heart of the problem, at least for a lot of supports, and that was addressed, a while ago. I guess they tried to retune some of the supports to give them like greater abilities to fight back. But this is going to segue into my next point, or really to my first point, which is a story. I was playing with a friend. She was mainly an Overwatch player, and I managed to get her to play a couple matches of Rivals with me. And I was asking, I'm like, yo, so what's the deal? Like, really, what's the difference between this and Overwatch? Like, wow, why you act like you hate this game, and you turn around, you play another hero shooter? And at the time, I hadn't played that much Overwatch, but I had a little bit of experience. I'm like, well, the differences really ain't that much, right? They're negligible. Right? I just learned that word, by the way. And I felt like they were negligible. And I was like, yo, what's the big deal? You just hating on this shit because it's the new game. But she ended up telling me, she said she feels like whenever she plays the game, this is overwhelming pressure as a support player, because that's what she was. She was a Jeff player. And she felt like the team's whole strategy was literally just to dive her over and over again. She's a Jeff player, mind you. And it was real. They were diving the fuck out of her. I ain't gonna lie, they were taxing that ass. And at some point I had to switch. I swapped the Bucky to support her, to help it to where she wasn't getting dove so hard. And it did work, but even then she still sounded like she was displeased. And she said that she felt like Overwatch had solved this problem by making healing somewhat passive, right? After a certain amount of time, if you're out of combat, you start to regenerate your health, and this eased the pressure off supports by making them not so vital, right? And it got me thinking. It's like, damn, because this is how I approach the game a lot of times. A lot of times we have these games where people, they want to that's the set, yo. Bro, this is like the second week in a row that shit didn't happen, man. Like, why it seem like every time I'm trying to record some shit, like people wanna call the cops. Her story had got me thinking, and I was saying that, like, you know, the way I had approached the game a lot of times was, you know, you cut the head off the snake. Basically was, a lot of these teams, they have so much sustaining power and they putting out so much damage that it felt like if I did not go back there and eliminate supports, our teams would never win a team fight, or or it'd be a stalemate. Which also leads me to another form of playing the game that some people use. Some people, like myself, I try to say, hey, we should take out the supports, that way the team dies. And then some people have this idea that we're just gonna blast through the tanks until the healing can no longer be sustained, which is even worse. It's actually mad asinine. I really hate that people play that way, because at the end of the day, a lot of times that shit don't work, and this game has been designed so that shit won't work almost, unless your entire team focuses like one person, which is very hard to do. Tanks have larger bodies, but they also have shields and extra health and shit to compensate for that. You're not doing that shit on a regular basis, and you're not a good player or on a good team or facing a good team, and you're doing that, and it's like working. That shit should not really work like that. You know what I mean? Except for occasionally. It shouldn't be like your only way of playing the game. I think that shit is absolutely stupid. But that's neither here nor there. That's another anecdote. That's how I approach the game. I approach the game saying that I'm gonna dive the hell out of these supports, and then we should be able to move forward because they no longer have a healing sustain, right? And for the most part, that is a good way to play the game, I would say. But it got me thinking, like, damn, you know, you think that there's a natural cycle in this game, right? Like, everybody has a natural counter, and, you know, whether that be tanks with tank busters like Iron Fist and Wolverine, Elsa Bloodstones, or you have DPSs who lose one-on-ones to supports, or you have supports who die to dive. It just seems like the only group who is not okay with having a counter is supports, man. It's the only group. It's the only group who really has a problem being countered. And I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, it ain't fun playing Groot or Magneto and getting ass blasted by Wolverine. You know what I'm saying? You get kidnapped, thrown into a whole nother backline, and you just get dogged. That shit ain't fun. It's a part of the game, right? It ain't fun. I'm getting spawn trapped by a Luna Snow player who can sit down there and wait for all her cooldowns to come back, and she can just dog my shit out of spawn because I'm playing Moon Knight or some shit. You know what I mean? Or, you know what I'm saying? Or even when I play support, yeah, it ain't that fun getting dove by Black Panther, getting my shit erased in 0.3 seconds. Yeah, I get it, but it's like, why do supports feel like they're the only ones who should not have to play the game for what it is? At the end of the day, this game is really about getting eliminations and moving the objective or capturing an objective. And a lot of supports, they don't want to do that. They want to sit in the back line. They want to go untouched. They want to shoot heal beams and hear the satisfying sounds of healing effects and watching their teammates go green. And they want to be happy with that. But that shit ain't going. But neither here or there, right? I spent enough time rambling about that. What I'm trying to say is, it is a very prevalent playstyle in this game to just simply dive supports and target them so you can move forward, right? And I'm thinking that maybe this game needs to have a change somewhere down the line, because the reality is, this is the issue that Overwatch also had, right? Overwatch already ran into this problem, and, you know, Marvel Robbers, they're on their high horse. They don't want to try to do the same exact thing, but all roads lead to that same solution. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, with the state that supports are in, like, this game is becoming harder and harder to play, right? I want you to think about this, right? They buffed the supports, right? After the strike, time goes on. We have a number of relevant characters, a number of metas. Triple support is always a problem. It's always been a problem, damn near, right? Teams just want higher sustain because they feel like the damage is too high. All right, cool. We get through that. They change it like in season, like what, 8.5? I don't remember the exact seasons. They changed it to where the ult charges are reduced for everybody. Season feels great. There's way more neutral play. It allows other characters to get buffed to their kits without having to be ult merchants. And then they introduced all these team ups, and then they reverted. They reverted. Or ult charges are back. They're back to being problematic all over again. So guess what? Now triple support is back to being more problematic than it's ever been. I know we all seen the video with Flats where he's watching a team, and this team, they stall out a point for more than 3 minutes. with Mantis getting like 3 ults in the span of 3 minutes before anybody even caps point. And it gets to a point where it's like these games become just shoot and stall over and over and over again. That shit is not fun. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. I don't give a fuck what type of meta the casual players prefer. You know what I'm saying? All this poke meta shit where people want to stand back and never take any risks and just shoot until something eventually dies. I got news for you. That shit ain't about to work no more, bro. Triple support, that shit keeps you got an Adam res. You got res just from being on a team with Adam as Mantis or Star-Lord. Then you got all these different ults that come through, and it's like, come on, man. Like, it's not fun. And it doesn't just happen at high level. It's not true. People want to say that's just a top 500 thing. No. That shit happens at the lower level as well, where teams default to triple support, and it stalls out the point for way too long. I don't know what the fuck game y'all signed up to play, but I didn't sign up to play a game like that, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, I signed this game so something could die. You know what I mean? I'm not pulling out the blicky to shoot at some shit to watch them stay alive for the next 3 minutes so we don't get nowhere. I'd rather quit the game. I'd rather turn that shit off than have to do that dumb shit the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Take it from me, a casual player, bro. I don't want the fights to last that long. Now, look, I don't want shit getting ran down. You know what I mean? Like, well, we can't never get no ground, or I just feel like this shit is too much. Of course, I don't want that. But the pace that we're on right now, this shit is dumb, because this shit happens in my matches all the time. I got footage somewhere that I can show you where it's like, damn, bro, like we really can't make no progress, and we just here just doing this shit over and over again. Where I had a game the other night where I was playing Moon Knight, and it was like, bro, I can't never get a kill on these motherfuckers because it was a Jubilee and maybe a Cloak and Dagger, I don't remember, but it's like, as soon as I would bait out, I was playing Storm actually, but as soon as I would bait out the Jubilee ult, right, I'm back here trying to build up my ult. Now, mind you, I'm playing Storm. She does pierce damage. I can throw the Wind Blade through Devil Dinosaur and a bunch of people behind her. There's no reason I should not be getting my ult faster than anybody else, right? The Devil Dinosaur, he's too big of a target. I'm landing everything. I'm using my extra abilities. I get my ult again. And by the way, first time I ult, Jubilee counter ults it. C&D, she ults again after that. I throw my ult out again, and I chase down Jubilee ass. She runs into the hallway. Guess what she does? She ults again. How the fuck is she getting her ult faster than me? Why are we both getting our ult that fast? You know what I mean? Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? I can see there's a problem on both sides. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, who wants to do that? I don't want to play the game like that. All right, so listen, this video won't be complete without me like trying to like propose some sort of solution to like help the game in the future, because the way it is right now, it is true. We are way too overly dependent on supports, while simultaneously like admitting, or the numbers even showing, that supports are the most casual friendly role. And not only that, I'll take it a step further. Like, when it comes to like players being boosted, like in this game, there's nobody who's being boosted before support players. Before anybody else in that lobby, and your rank match, you feel like it's selling your game, or feel like they really can't pull the weight they're supposed to, it's a support player. It's definitely them, bro. And it's for this reason. Like, they just been, their worth has been overinflated. I don't even know if that's the right way to say that, because obviously the worth is very high. These teams need supports, but it's like you have just overly tuned them to the point where these teams have to have these players, and the players that benefited the most, they're just running through rank, and they're just getting ranked that they're really not supposed to have, for real. Let's be honest. I ain't trying to act like I'm the best player, but I've made GM in every role. You know what I mean? So, proposed solutions. Listen to this. Straight up, reduce that ult charge, man. You know what I'm saying? Take that shit back. You know, previously it was like 60. It was like 60 to 70. It was like 60, and then they bumped it to 70. Take that shit back down. Back to 60, maybe even 55. Make it lower. But what they need to do is they need to make passive healing more of a thing in this game. And quick anecdote, obviously you guys know from the video I posted last week, Storm is my baby. You know what I mean? And she recently has a new team up where she can make it rain. She can make it rain, and she has an AoE healing effect. Now the healing isn't very like, it's not a lot. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a whole lot of healing where it's like gonna save you, but it helps save you, like maybe you get an extra second to get behind cover, or it can stop certain breakpoints. It can save you, right? And it's probably even better if you use it before the team fight starts, right? But my point is, I feel like this is like a small step that maybe they didn't even mean to take, but it's a small step in the right direction. I think characters in this game should have passive healing. I think maybe, I don't know if every character should have it, but I think more characters should have it to where they can, like, you know, they can do things to alleviate the pressure off the supports and make it to where, you know, the only way we can make progress in a match is by either diving supports or just blasting through tanks. Like, to me, like, it just feels like that's too much of a problem all in itself. And I think the way they designed Storm Deck, it kind of starts there. Like, you know, even like with the blade attack you have for Hawkeye, shit, make that shit do more healing. Make you know what I'm saying, make the cooldown a little bit lower or some shit like that. Make it to where they can heal other people and shit like that. Like, I think that will add more dynamic possibilities to the game without making it like super stale, right? I'm not saying we need ults every couple seconds, you know, to save the team. What we need is other players having to use situational awareness to, like, you know, get themselves involved outside of just trying to run some shit down or just trying to heal bot somebody in front of them. You know what I mean? Like, if I see like my supports getting dove, I'm about to make it rain. I'm gonna make it rain real quick. You know, get you a couple seconds and I'm gonna damage boost you. That's how it should be. It shouldn't just be heal bot the whole time, press Q. That shit ain't fun, bro. I mean, listen, I can't speak for everybody, but I speak for anybody who ain't a goddamn bot, bro. That shit not fun. Yeah, that shit ain't, you know what I'm saying? That's not the way. Also, you can also just do passive healing, just the same way Overwatch did it, to where, you know, if you're outside of the fight, your healing starts to come back after 5 seconds or so. I don't give a damn what the numbers is. This game does need passive healing because as it stands, this game is way too support dependent. At the same time, while having too many support players who just ain't even that good. And then it becomes even more of a problem when the support player is good, because now you just handed them the keys. A good player, you just made them the most important player in the game, because naturally the role they've been given is too strong. You know what I mean? Like, this shit ain't adding up, man. Like, it just feels wrong, man. It just feels wrong when I'm playing these games. And it's, and another thing, another thing I fucking hate too as a DPS player, I'm starting to realize this shit ain't all just, because it ain't all just on supports. I ain't gonna say like it's all just their fault, but the shit I fucking hate, just as a sidebar. Why is it the supports are only ulting when I'm ulting? What the fuck is the team doing? Are we not putting pressure on nobody? Like, if I'm playing DPS and the only time I hear these supports, like, papa tapu or we are undefeatable and all this other bullshit, I'm only hearing it after I'm trying to make it rain on these with the moon and shit. That's a problem. That's a problem, and you got to check your teammate for that type of shit, because all these tanks, they all have these stun ults and all these stalling ults, and other DPSs, and even some of these healers, they have lethal ults. Why are we only ulting whenever the fuck I try to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get it in. You know what I mean? Like, that's the shit I don't like. But I'm going on the tangent, man. I just want to make this video, man. I just want to see how you guys felt about it. Do you guys feel like supports are boosted? Do you feel like supports are just too goddamn strong right now? Do you feel like maybe the ult charge should probably get reduced? Do you feel like maybe we should have passive healing? You know what I mean? Like, whether it's out of combat or it's just character induced, or do you guys feel like, we're just too dependent on supports and we should just probably reel that shit back? If you feel that way, I think you should leave a comment. Maybe you should even like or possibly even subscribe. If you don't feel that way, I think you should I think you should get the fuck out of here.